Hey guys, it's Leah. Welcome back, or welcome if you are new, and welcome to a video that I'm actually quite terrified to be filming this week, where I try and read 100 pages every day for a week. I've been wanting to film a video like this for so long, but I don't know why it intimidates me so much. Don't get me wrong, I know so many people do videos like this where they read like 200 pages a week, sometimes even more, but 100 pages for me? Perfect. We're gonna work our way up. I'm gonna do 100 pages this week, maybe then 150, maybe then 200, and then we'll see where we're at. We'll reevaluate then. I do have a couple of rules. I just chucked my Kindle on the floor. And I just messed up all the stickers. That is so sad. Oh my god. Okay, damn, we'll fix that after. My rules for this week are I am currently listening to an audiobook. I will still be reading audiobooks, listening to audiobooks. But the audiobook that I am currently listening to is not on my physical TBR, and I want this week to really be trying to prioritize getting through my physical TBR. We're only going to be reading physical books, obviously books that I own, and then books on my Kindle that I also own physically. I am currently reading two of them. The first physical book that I am currently reading is Milk Fed by Melissa Broder. I did my first ever YouTube live stream the other day and it was so much fun. If you were there, thank you so much. But we did a poll once I finished my other past read as to which book I should start next. You all picked this one, so I am on page 57. I am a little bit of the way through my main physical current read, and then the book that I'm reading on my Kindle at the minute, which I do also own physically. Oh my god guys, it's Slaying the Vampire Conqueror by Carissa Broadbent. We know how I feel about Carissa Broadbent, and oh my god guys, so far this is not disappointing. As for where I am currently at, I'm currently 13% of the way through, so I am reading it on my Kindle. I might flick to the physical copy if I so desire to. So far I'm absolutely loving it. I just adore Carissa Broadbent's writing so much. She is absolutely my favourite fantasy writer. Like, without a doubt, I can say that with my chest now. So happy to be back in the world of Nixia series. This is a standalone in that world, so it technically isn't part of the Subnet Wings of Night series, but it is set in the world. Following different characters, but I love the lore of this world so much, so I'm having the time of my life. Honestly, we could not have two more opposite books. This book is a very strange, weird girl literary fiction, and then we have a fun romantasy. We love range here. So yeah, these are the two books that I'm currently reading, the two books that I will be starting with for this video. It is Monday. I don't even know if I said it's Monday. Obviously it's Monday. We're starting this at the beginning of the week. And yeah, let's try and read 100 pages every day this week. Guys, I so very nearly fell at the first hurdle. That would have been incredibly embarrassing, I'm not gonna lie. Lesson learned for the rest of the week, let's not leave it until like an hour until midnight to read 100 pages. I had such a busy day yesterday. I spent the entire day filming / being out, so I didn't have a lot of time to read until it was close to midnight. It was a close call, but I did actually get my 100 pages read, which I'm so happy about. I think with Slaying the Vampire Conqueror yesterday, I started on page 55. I'm now on page 158, so if that's right, I read 103 pages. I'm on chapter 20, which is 37% of the way through, and I'm absolutely gonna read 100 pages more of this today. Honestly, I'm expecting to read even more of it yesterday, like where I ended last night. I'm so excited to carry on reading. I am absolutely adoring this book so much. I know I said recently that I didn't think I was in a fantasy mood. Yeah, well, Carissa Broadbent always changes that. The way that she comes in and she's like, no babe, you need to read some more fantasy. I don't know what she does in her fantasy books, but they always hit for me every single time. So happy that I finally decided to read her works this year. I feel like by the end of the year, probably would have read every single thing she's released, and I'm just absolutely loving it. It is so what I'm in the mood for right now. I will say I currently have a doctor's appointment that I really need to leave for. I need to get a blood test done. I'm definitely going to bring my Kindle with me. I'm not going to lie, I feel like I'm going to read at least close to 100 pages probably in the waiting room, and no doubt more than that. I'm going to leave now, read some more of Slaying the Vampire Conqueror on my Kindle, and I'll update you guys later. I'm back home. I was very much caught in the rain on my way and on my way back to my appointment. It's been such, like, honestly a really nice rainy day. You know when you kind of get that like summer drizzle, it very much felt like that, and honestly it was really nice to just have rain. To be honest, I'm not complaining. I am excited for summer, but I really just did want to have a cozy raining day, and that is exactly what I've had. After my appointment, I went to a cafe and I got one of the best like matcha lattes I've ever had in my entire life, and this Oreo brownie, which was insane. And I just read non-stop, and I read the 100 pages that I needed to read today, just sat there, and I didn't leave until I was done. Honestly, I feel like this is the way to do it. Obviously I'm not at work today, so I'm worried for when I do have work this week and I still need to read 100 pages. Like, that is where I feel like I'm gonna struggle. But I am now 60% of the way through Slaying the Vampire Conqueror, which is chapter 32. It says on my Kindle that I have 2 hours and 4 minutes remaining. I'm not gonna lie, I'm definitely reading some more of this today. I don't think I can wait until tomorrow for my 100 pages. I am loving this book so much. Honestly, I've said so many times in this vlog and in many other vlogs how much I love Carissa Broadbent's writing. The way that she creates a fantasy atmosphere, and I love the fact that they are so heavily romance and romantasy, but equally so heavily political. I think she perfectly balances the politics of a fantasy, the atmosphere of a fantasy, and like the lore of a fantasy with the romance for the main characters just so well. I did also bring Milk Fed with me. I haven't read any more of that, but again, I would quite like to sit at my desk a little bit also tonight and read a little bit more of that, just because it's been a couple of days since I last picked it up. Milk Fed I am enjoying. I have such high expectations for this solely because I read Death Valley by Melissa Broder, which was instantly a 5-star for me, one of the best books I've read so far this year. And Milk Fed specifically has been a book on my radar for so many years, and I just never ever got to it, and I'm so happy that I finally am reading it. Honestly, I went into this knowing absolutely nothing until I read the synopsis on my Reading Sprints live stream, and then I was kind of like, damn, I'm actually a little bit more nervous for this one. What I love so much about Melissa Broder's writing in Death Valley was how strange and equally eloquent but so weird it all was. I adore fiction like that, and this is absolutely no different in that element, but this does touch on different themes and themes that definitely require trigger warnings. Didn't know going into this that this is so heavily focused on food and calorie intake and eating disorders, and that I was kind of a bit like, ooh, a little bit nervous about. I will say that I think Melissa Broder deals with these topics so brilliantly and equally with so much humour, all whilst remaining serious. And because of that, my initial nervousness has definitely died down slightly. I will say that I am only still on page 57. I would like to read a little bit more of this today. Definitely is not going to be my focus though, because I cannot stop thinking about Slaying the Vampire Conqueror. So even though I have read my 100 pages for the day, definitely planning to read a little bit more. So I'll update you once I have read a little bit more, just for the vibes. Please ignore what I look like. It's hair wash day. I've just woken up. I'm reading and editing all day, so respectfully, no makeup is going on this face today. I wanted to update you one final time on Serpent in the Wings of Night before I finish it, because I literally have an hour left. I think there is 450 pages. I'm on page 344. So if I'm correct, my 100 pages for the day will literally just cover this, but if I get it done, might end up reading more like I did yesterday. Yesterday, I think I ended up reading 180 pages. When we reach the end of the week, I will tell you guys what I read every single day. Yesterday was really good. I tell you that I read so much of this last night. I was literally falling asleep reading it because I could not put it down. And oh my god, Carissa Broadbent is so good at writing fantasy. I'm literally gagged. As expected with Carissa Broadbent, and as I keep saying, I'm just absolutely obsessed with it. So I'm so excited to finish it. I read it so much quicker than I thought I was going to. And then maybe I'll go on to Milk Fed, or I'll start another book. I'm definitely back into my reading on my Kindle hyperfixation. I had a minute there where I was out of it, but no, I'm back. I might start another book on my Kindle once I'm done with this one. We'll see, but my 100 pages of the day are going to be spent finishing Serpent in the Wings of... No, I keep saying Serpent in the Wings of Night. Slaying the Vampire Conqueror by Carissa Broadbent. It's Thursday morning, and I feel like today is going to be the real test to see whether I can read 100 pages. I do have work at the bookshop today. It's also my boyfriend's birthday, so obviously I'm not going to be reading a lot. I feel like the only chance I'm going to have to read these 100 pages is on my lunch break. So we're going to see how that goes. It should be doable, but it might not, and I'm quite nervous about it. But regarding yesterday and how my reading went yesterday, first of all, because it's so early, the light is literally going in and out of the clouds, so if it changes, please ignore that. My reading yesterday, I did finish The Serpent Slaying the Vampire Conqueror by Carissa Broadbent. As expected, absolutely loved it. I just adore every single thing this woman writes at this point. I'm like fully anticipating every single thing she ever releases. Like, I don't know what she does in this world. The way that she writes the Crowns of Nixia series, even in a book like this where it's literally a standalone, I just always adore it. I love the world that she has created. Oh my god, the lighting! Guys, prime example as to what the lighting is doing. I'm so sorry. I live in the UK. There's really not that much I can do, and it's the only time I can film this clip today, so please ignore that. Even though this was a standalone and obviously we are following characters who we have never followed before, I absolutely love the way it feels like every single main character or protagonist in any of these Crowns of Nixia books are so interconnected and they're all kind of woven in and out of each other. I just absolutely adore it, and I love the way that she writes this world. The series is undoubtedly my favourite fantasy series of all time. I'm just like head over heels for it, and I absolutely adored this. I did end up rating it 4 stars. I loved the tension in this. I loved the yearning. I loved the political element in terms of the fantasy. Again, I love the lore. I love her writing. I adored everything in this, but for me it just felt like a 4 star, not necessarily a 5. But I had the best time, and considering I didn't really feel like I was in a fantasy mood, like I feel like I could be again. So maybe I'll pick up another fantasy in this video. But when I finished Slaying the Vampire Conqueror, I did not go on to a fantasy. I looked at my May TBR stack, and to be honest, I wanted to read another book on my Kindle. As I mentioned earlier in this vlog, I hadn't read a book on my Kindle for so long, but Slaying the Vampire Conqueror, like, I read it so quick because I was reading it on my Kindle. And one of the books on my May TBR is A Proof, coming out in June, and I also have the E-Arc on my Kindle, so I took that as the perfect opportunity to start The Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley. Obviously this is not a fantasy romance, this is an adult thriller. Fairly similar, I suppose. So I started this one on my Kindle last night, and I believe I got 12% of the way through. Yeah, I got 12% of the way through. Annoyingly though, because it is like an e-arc on my Kindle, it doesn't have the exact page numbers. So because I also own the physical one, I'm kind of going to the physical one to see how many pages I've read, if that makes sense. So yesterday I ended up reading 48 pages of The Midnight Feast. I believe if my maths is correct, that meant I read 152-ish pages yesterday, so I did that with sweeping colours. So far for The Midnight Feast, I am really enjoying it. I feel like my relationship with Lucy Foley, I realised yesterday when I was going through my Goodreads, I have never rated a Lucy Foley book anything over 3 stars, and I don't know why. I kind of assumed I had, so I'm really intrigued to see if this will reach a 4 star for me. Lucy Foley writes really locked room thrillers, and those are always my favourite thrillers. Obviously not the ones from Lucy Foley though, because they've never rated 4 stars or above, but I do have high hopes for this. I'm really intrigued to see what I'm going to carry on feeling. At the minute it definitely like threw you into the drama and the intrigue. I was quite pleasantly surprised that I ended up reading 12% of this last night, considering I was half asleep when I decided to pick it up, so I'm excited to carry on reading it today. I'm so aware that I've really abandoned Milk Fed on my currently reading. I definitely also want to get some of that read at some point this week, but I think I'm going to bring my Kindle to work today and read some more of The Midnight Feast. As I said, I'm not really expecting to read 100 pages today, but I hope I can update you later. Amidst all of the chaos, let's read some more of The Midnight Feast. Good morning guys, today is Friday. We have 3 more days of me trying to read 100 pages every single day. Honestly, this week has gone so quick. It's flying by. I'm very aware that I didn't film too much yesterday. Obviously, as I said, I was at work, but it was also my boyfriend's birthday, so filming wasn't really my priority. I will say that yesterday whilst I was at work, like on my lunch break, I did end up reading quite a bit of The Midnight Feast. I'm not gonna lie, I still haven't checked to see if it was 100 pages, so let's do that together. I got up to 40%. If I was good at maths, I would be able to work that out, but I'm not. So I got up to 40%. Oh, sorry, 41%. I feel like that 1% is going to matter. So we're going to see in the book whereabouts I am and what page I'm on. wait, hang on, wait. 41%. I return from the words covered in flex. I read up to page 147. Flashback to me yesterday. Did I say that I was on page 48? Are you telling me that I read 99 pages yesterday? Oh my god, I'm about to be so mad. I did write it down. Oh my god, I read 99 pages yesterday. What do you mean I was 1 away? It's the most infuriating thing on this planet. Oh my god. So I'm gonna take that as a win. I'm gonna take that as that was successful. The only reason I stopped reading when I did was because it was a new chapter. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna say that I read 100 pages there, even though I read 99. That is a sick joke. Well, anyway, after that, I clearly read 99 pages. I am taking that as a win. And my thoughts on this book so far, I'm not gonna lie, I'm bored. My previous clip, I mentioned how my relationship with Lucy Foley's books is a little bit tricky, and I've never rated any of her books above 3 stars. I kind of didn't click with that before, and honestly I don't really know why her books just don't work for me. I think it's a mix of they are so predictable, in my opinion. More often than not, I'm so intrigued about the story and the characters from the get-go, but when it actually gets into the story and things start unraveling, it loses me. And also the number of pop culture references in her books, but especially this one, if I had £1 for every single one, I would be rich. It's just kind of taken me out of the story slightly, unfortunately. I think because there are so many pop culture references, I'm not really on the edge of my seat, because like she's talking about Spa. If you live in the UK, who remembers Spa? Me now, after reading this book. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's definitely losing me. Obviously I still, oh my god, I'm not even halfway through. Part of me, I'm not gonna lie, as I was reading it yesterday and I was so bored on my lunch break, I was like, do I just DNF it? I don't want to DNF it, but at this point right now it's sitting on like a 2-star. I don't know, I'm definitely gonna bring my Kindle with me again to work today. I do have work at the bookshop again today. I didn't even tell you guys. I will try and read some more of it just in general and also tonight. But how many pages do I have left? I have like 230 pages left. Do I DNF it? Okay, I am gonna bring my Kindle with me. I'm gonna try and carry on reading some more today at work, and then we're just gonna see. By tonight I might end up giving up on it, but right now I'm definitely gonna try and read some more just to see if it does start to pick up. But that is my thoughts on The Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley so far. Let's go to work, let's try not to DNF The Midnight Feast, and let's read 100 more pages. It's Saturday morning, I'm about to head out, and I'm not gonna lie, I just needed to update you because I failed quite miserably yesterday. I ended up starting the invention of morale, and I literally got 21 pages in. So I read 21 pages yesterday. This was definitely the worst day of the week so far. I'm hoping I can read a little bit more today. Am I expecting to read 100 pages? It's a Saturday and I'm out all day. Probably not, but I will try. I just wanted to let you know that I failed miserably yesterday, but I'm gonna hope to read some more of this today, and I'll update you all later. Hi guys, I fear I have failed incredibly hard at this challenge. The beginning of the week, everything was going perfectly, so smoothly. I was flying by, and then Friday, Saturday and Sunday rolled around and I barely read anything. Granted, it was an incredibly busy week for me. I definitely probably decided to do this on a bad week, and so let's go through how many pages I read every single day of the week. So on Monday I read 103 pages, started off strong. Tuesday was my best day. I read 186 pages. Wednesday I read 152 pages. Thursday I read 99 pages, but I'm telling you, we're counting it. It was the Kindle to the physical copy scenario, and I'm not gonna lie, we're counting it, because if it was being read physically, you bet I would have read 1 extra page to make 100, so it counts. And then this is where it gets bad. On Friday I read 20 pages. On Saturday I read 0 pages. Not what you want to happen when you're filming a reading challenge. And then on Sunday I read 16 pages. So did I read 100 pages every single day of the week? Obviously not. I will say though, I'm kind of proud of how I did at the beginning of the week. It was the second half of the week when I was extremely busy. I had a lot going on, so I don't blame myself for it. On a good week where I don't have as much going on, I definitely would have been able to achieve reading 100 pages every single day, but that's not always realistic. So really, this was just a realistic how many pages I read in a week vlog. And yeah, let me know if you want to see me trying to do 100 pages every day again, or if I should go straight to 150, because I'm kind of nervous for 150 now. I thought I would fly by with 100 every day. Obviously not. But yeah guys, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching and for being here. If you did watch until the very end of the video, comment any book emoji, or equally as always, comment if you have read any of the books that I also read in this video, or if they're on your TBRs, let me know. But yeah guys, again, thank you so much for being here and for spending some time with me, and I will see you again very soon with another video. Thank you.